Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since we've gotten together. I want to thank Chanoch for coming by again, and we're going to start the series. We'll be recording Sunday mornings, actually. It is now Sunday morning at about 11 o'clock. So I was thinking, since this is the first time that we're getting together since the beginning of this cycle of the Parshios, so let's do a quick synopsis for this week and bring us up to date as to where we are. So we have a tremendous opportunity as Yidden to review the Chamisha Chumshei Torah throughout the year. Every week, another parsha, over and over and over again. For people like myself, it's been many, many decades that we've come to shul and heard the reading of the Torah. In addition to that, of course, Shnai Mikra V'Chatargim, reviewing the parsha. But in spite of all that, over and over again, as we grow and develop and our lives change and the challenges present themselves in different ways, we use the parsha as that guidance on a weekly basis to help us understand what really is happening in our lives and come to solutions and deeper meaning. So, in the beginning of Parshas Bereishis, I'm going to do a quick synopsis and bring us up to date. In the beginning of Parshas Bereishis, the opening Rashi tells us, and he asks this profound question, where Rashi starts his Pirush on Chumash with this question: why is it that the Torah begins with Bereishis and tells us the story of creation? The Torah is not a history book. The Torah is what it is. It's Hayra. It is a guide. It is laws and chukim u'mishpatim. It's the way to live life. It's the directions. It's the instructions. But it's not a history book. We have oral history for that. We have Torah Shabbal Peh for that. Why would the Torah begin with Bereishis? And it's a very difficult question. Many challenge Rashi on what's the basis of the question in the first place. What are you talking about? You can't start before you lay down the foundations of why we believe. The trust, the belief in the Rebbeinu Shalom comes from the fact that he created the world. The whole obligation to keep the Torah all goes back to that moment of creation and what flows from there. But that's a talk for a different time. But this is Rashi's question. And Rashi answers that the Torah had to tell us that the Rebbeinu Shalom created the world, because there would come a time when the Rabbi Shalom would give Eretz Yisrael to us, to the Jewish people, and the nations of the world are going to challenge us, and they're going to say, Listim atem, you're thieves, you stole this land. And we'll be able to point back to the Torah and say, what are you talking about, we stole the land? God created the world, including Eretz Yisrael, and he gave it to us. And therefore we need to know that God created the world. That is Rashi's answer. La'asher Yosha Be'einav, he gave it to those who he deems to be correct and right and proper for this mission of taking Eretz Yisrael. Now the question is, every nation under the world who's going to stake a claim to Eretz Yisrael, historically, everyone who came into that land came waving the same banner, the same flag. We're the chosen. God created the world and he gave it to us. The Muslims will say it, the Catholics or the Christians, everybody. No one comes in and just says we're thieves. They come in and they say this is ordained by God, the creator of the world, that we should have the land. So it's not helping us at all, this narrative that the Rebbeinu Shalom created the world. How do we understand it? I was thinking, the words of Rashi says, Koyach ma'asav higid liyamai. Right, which literally means the power of his deeds, of his actions, he told the people. So he's telling us the power of his actions. Look, I created this world, and so we look at it as this would be our claim. If we would go to the international courts, we would come with the Torah and we would say, look, this is what the Rebbeinu Shalom did. Again, that doesn't help us. I think it goes the other way around. Of course, God created the world, and He gave the Eretz Yisrael to the nation that He deemed worthy and capable of this mission of creating a spiritual haven in the world that we live in. The Rebbeinu Shalom is talking to us. Nations of the world are going to come and say, why you? Why you? Listim atem. What do you have that makes you worthy for that? And that's something that we have to answer for ourselves. You can't answer them. It's not going to help. But it's something that we have to answer for ourselves, that we need to know why we've been chosen for this mission. What talent do we have? What capabilities do we have that we can be the beacon of light? It's our responsibility. Whether the world wants to look at that light and follow us, that's their decision. But it's our responsibility, our privilege. What powers do we possess? Koyach ma'asav, the power, the strength, the energy, the talent of Masav, of we, the Jews, as his creations, that he is informing us, the Torah, these parshiyos inform us who we are, what talents we have, what is in our DNA that makes us worthy, capable of this mission. Koyach Masav higad li'amoy, la'asher yosher ba'enav, by learning Sefer Bereshis, Sefer HaYosher, as it's called, the narrative of our avos, of where we come from, their honesty, their integrity, their morality, their tzitkus, their chesed, their midos. All of that is who we are. We need to know who we are, that we are able to go forward and understand we possess the ability to be this nation. And that's where we are now. Torah begins with that in Sefer Bereshis and takes us through Noach and Lech Lecha as we're introduced to Avram Avinu and everything that he overcame. Every time he overcomes a challenge, it builds another layer of spiritual DNA in us, in his children, and allows us to take on that great mission and makes us worthy of it. And now we're heading into Parshas Toldos. That's Sunday now of Parshas Toldos, where we're going to get introduced to Yitzchak's children, Yaakov and Esav, and their battle, and we will come through it more informed of who we are as we finish the trifecta, and we're getting into now the third leg of the midas of the avos. We have Abraham, the midas HaChesed, Yitzchak, the midas of the midah of Gevura, and now that great combination, that perfect hybrid, the emes, the truth of bringing together those two powerful approaches to life, chesed and gvura, and making it emes. So I look forward to sharing with you on a weekly basis ideas and thoughts of the parsha. And once again, I do thank Chanech Aryeh for coming over and setting this up and really encouraging me to take back this privilege of talking to you on a weekly basis. Have a great week.